This is Nathan Bowman with Draper Inc. Today we're going to cover limit setting with the new Draper motor limit tool for IntelliFlex I motors by connecting directly into a network device connector. Before we get started, please note there are two ways that you can connect the motor limit tool directly into a network device connector. You can go directly into a device port, or you now have the option to go directly into a network port, whichever is most convenient for your install scenario. All right, I'm plugged into the network. I'm going to see a lot of menu options, but I'm going to ignore all those for now. I want to go directly to motor settings, so I'm going to use my down arrow to navigate to motor settings and hit enter. Now from here, I have the option to select a specific motor or send out commands or configure all motors. First, I'm going to select a specific motor. This is going to be very similar to the previous version of the motor limit tool that you've seen. You're going to hover over a shade and that motor is going to jog up and down to identify itself. As you can see, the shade that is jogging is one that I have already named, so if you have already named these shades, you will not need to wait for the jog. If you have not named your shades, you will want to navigate down this list one by one to allow the shade to jog so you can identify it and rename it. From here, I'm going to select my motor, room 2-1. As I can see, both of my limits are set, so I'm going to go ahead and reset this motor so we can do a limit setting procedure directly from the NDC. So I've reset the motor, it's going to load. Now that my motor is reset, I'm going to navigate back down to motor settings and hit enter. I'm going to select motor. Okay, my motor is jogging up and down. That is the one I want to configure, so I'm going to hit enter again. No limit set, no preset stop, so we're going to go ahead and run this shade up and down using our open and close buttons to confirm polarity. My motor polarity is correct. So the shade is where I want the top limit to be. I'm going to press and hold the upper limit button until the screen tells me to release it. Done, upper limit set. Now I'm going to run the shade down. Again, the shade will run down as long as I hold the close button. It will stop as soon as I let go. For smaller incremental movements, I'm going to let go of the button and then simply press and release for each small incremental movement. The shade is where I want the lower limit to be, so now I'm going to hold the lower limit button until the screen tells me to release. Now both of my limits are set. I'm going to set up preset stops. I'm going to use my down arrow to navigate. It says no preset stops. I'm going to hit enter. Smart motor 1041, 0 preset stops. Hit enter again. Now I'm going to use my up arrow to navigate. I want 3 equally based preset stops. I select 3, hit enter, navigate down and select confirm again. Now my shade has the limit set and 3 preset stops added. Okay, so now that my motor has both limits and preset stops, I'm going to copy these settings because I want to paste them to every other shade on the network. So navigate down to copy settings, hit enter. The screen said shade settings copied. Now I want to get back to where I can paste this information to every other motor on the network. To get there from here, I'm going to hit back. I'm back to my list of motors on the network, so I'm going to hit back again. Now I'm back in the motor settings menu to where I can select a motor or I can go to all motors. I want to paste these settings to every motor on the network, so now I'm going to use my down arrow to navigate to all motors. Down arrow to navigate to paste settings. And it asks, paste settings to all shades, confirm? Yes. Now I've copy and pasted the limits and presets from one motor to every other motor on my network for easy configuration. From this all motor screen, I have 2 other options. I can send out commands to every motor. Once I select enter, it's going to give me the options to auto calibrate. That menu option only applies if you're using 1 or 4MC external motor controllers. That does not apply to IntelliFlex I motors. The next option is to clear overrides. This is a nice troubleshooting feature to allow you to release any overrides currently on the shade network to confirm that shades will respond accordingly. And the last option is if I need to reverse motors. If every motor on a project has the polarity reverse, rather than going into each motor individually, I can simply come to the all motor option and select reverse motors, and it will reverse the polarity for me. If you have any further questions or concerns, please contact Draper Technical Support at 1-800-238-7999 and select option 3.